Hello everyone, this is Cesar. Today we are going to take care of my McCarty 594. Well, I have another 594 single cut. And this is my best playing guitar and the guitar that I play the most of the time, right? In the studio where I go to record, for everything I do. This is an absolute killer, right? I mean, the neck is absolutely fantastic. And from the playability perspective, is my favorite guitar. Funnily speaking, together with a Yamaha Revstar, that is a very cheap guitar compared to this one, right? And I have benchmarks. What I mean is, well, other than I've been playing many different guitars for many years, but in my own collection I have several Gibsons, several Fenders, Stratocaster, Telecaster, several Yamahas, this, and several PRSs, by the way, and this is my favorite one. You will see later in the back that it has already signs of being very much loved, right? So we are gonna get rid of the strings. We are going to put a new set of strings, but before that we are going to take care of the frets a little bit, fretboard, and after changing the strings we will check the neck relief, we will check the string height, we will check the pickup height and the intonation. That basically I am expecting not to change too much because we are going to use the same string gauge, and we will try to keep the guitar as it is because I really like very much how it is. Now, when checking the relief, it will give me the opportunity to talk about an interesting debate that I've been following during these days in YouTube about the tools that you need for your setup, and I will give you my honest point of view, right? So stay tuned. Well, I have basically spared you from the horrors of watching me cutting the strings, right? And we are going to get rid of the old ones and put new ones. Again, I use D'Addario normal, D'Addarios, $5 the pack, I think, something like that, because honest to God, right? Those guys that are trying to sell you the tonal difference when you use strings that are $30 the pack, right? The set, basically. And then they put their guitars through 156 pedals with an enormous amount of distortion, whatever. I mean, listen. In this channel, we have never tried to sell you anything that's tight. I'm gonna need the old shitty string height ruler. So, yeah, I mean, they try to get you to buy strings that are $30 the set, and then they put the guitar through all the collection of pedals that you can imagine. I really find that interesting. I also find interesting these guys that are saying, oh, digital versus tube amps, right? Oh my God. Tube amps are always much better than digital, whatever, right? Kempers, Helix, etc. And then 75% of their pedals in their pedal board are digital, and it's amazing. Anyway, so as we are not trying to sell you anything here, right? We are going to discuss about setups. In my honest opinion, every single guitar player should know how to set up the guitars. I have never sent a guitar to anybody in order to get a good setup. I set up my own guitars. I've been doing that for many years, and I'm going to continue doing that for the years to come that I would be still able to play the guitar, okay? I mean, God forbid, arthritis, arthrosis, and all those type of diseases. So we are going to start with a little bit of fret polishing, not that much, because this is a heavily played guitar. So we are going to use the fret erasers. Remember that I got these fret erasers from Crimson Guitars many years ago. And what I do is when they are exhausted, I cut them and then file them. So this is the reason why they have different sizes, okay? We are going to start with the 600, and then we are going to go to the 1200. We are going to use the fret guard so we don't hurt our fretboard, okay? And as I was saying, right, I mean, it is really very interesting when you watch videos in YouTube from channels that are clearly having a commercial interest in what they do, which is totally fine. I mean, it is really a good way of doing business and kind of a very honest economic activity, right? So more kudos to all of them and to you. But in the moment that they are trying to sell you something, you need to understand that there's always a commercial interest there. And there are several things that really kind of strike me as at least interesting, right? One of them is the debate about the guitar strings. And the other is the debate about digital versus analogic. So tube amps versus the Kempers, the Helix of this world, right? 600, now the 1200. And it's funny, as I say, because these guys that are really absolutely against the digital Kempers, Helix, etc., I don't want to call them amp modelers, because to me they are much more, right? But anyway, so these guys, no, because the tube amp, yeah. And then you look at their pedal boards, and what comes out of their guitars and goes through the pedal board and then comes out of the pedal board. Anyway, what can we say? Right? What can we say? Let me see. Very good. At 1:30 I have to go because I have a conference and I need to go, so I will have to continue later. But anyway, now we are going to oil the fretboard with the F1 oil. Non-sponsored, this is something that I've been using for many years. They have changed the formula on the bottle. Right, I mean, but it's the same product. I like that company. I like Music Nomad. I've been using their products since they were really not very well known when I started using their products, and I'm happy that several big YouTubers have adopted the use of some of their products. It's a company that I like, and the products, I really like them. Okay, now we are going to wipe off the excess. Not that much because we have not put a lot of as you have seen. Remember, I live in Miami and the guitars here don't need a lot of humidity and a lot of conditioning. which is on the contrary, right? I use this oil mostly to clean the fretboard, honestly. Right? Okay, I mean the feeling of playing a fretboard with very soft frets is absolutely fantastic. This guitar has already some dents. I think I got this one 5 years ago, more or less. And yes, I mean, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate. My best playing guitars, with the exception of my Yamaha Revstar, are PRSs. I really like PRS. I mean, my PRSs play better than my Gibsons, play better than my Fenders, play better. I mean, they are better guitars from the construction point of view. End of story. I mean, I like them better. The profile of this neck is absolutely fantastic. This is what they call at PRS pattern vintage, the profile of the 594s, the 294s that I have, right? Relatively chunky. I love that profile. Well, now this is clean. It's already prepared. We are gonna basically take the opportunity to clean up the parts of the guitar where you cannot reach when the strings are on. You see, I mean, it's already, from my hand, it's already kind of rusted here a little bit. And the bridge too. I don't want to take off the bridge. We will probably in the early future to clean it in depth, right? And now for the body, I'm using the guitar detailer from Music Nomad 2. Again, not sponsored. Simply, I like the product. We put a little bit here on our microfiber cloth, but especially the parts of the guitar that are not accessible when the strings are on. When I've moved the bridge, you see, probably we will have to adjust the height during the setup process. Because the rest we can perfectly clean it when the strings are on and we have finished the restring and the setup process of the guitar. That's fine. You can see that the brass here is already somehow also a little bit rusty, right? But it is what it is. This guitar is really very played. I mean, let me show you the back. I don't know if with this light you're going to be able to see it, but well, we have a small dent in the neck here, very small, but again, it's a pretty much loved guitar. But with this light, you may be able to perceive in the back that there are signs of, especially here, of the guitar being really loved, which is what a guitar should do, right? The guitar is for playing. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, my camera angle, yes, there you can see it, yes. This neck is absolutely fantastic. It's a top 10. I think you can see the 10 here on the headstock. Yeah, I mean, 6 years old. Still young. My lady in red is 11. Right? Okay, so now we are going to proceed with the restringing of the guitar. Well, we are going to undust the headstock to taking advantage of the situation. Fine. Some of you have asked me about the truss rod covers that I have in my PRSs. Right? There you go. They're beautiful. I don't know if in Rivers you can find something like that. I don't know. But I was buying them from a luthier in the UK that has closed, actually. Right? So let's restring the guitar, and then let's proceed with the entire setup, and then we will have the conversation about the tools that you need for setting your guitar up. Well, I'm not going to take you through the entire restringing of the guitar, but I wanted to show you something that may be different for you if you have not seen one of those 594 close up, right? And it's the bridge here, the tail piece. So the way the strings are going through the tail piece is that one. So you see that they have this slot here where you put the string in this direction up to the fourth string. Then third, second, and one are through the slot in this other direction. Okay, so that's the way you restring the 594 with this type of bridge, right? So let me just show you how the first, second, and third string would go. You put the string through the slot, and then it goes in that direction, okay? In that direction over there, right? And on the headstock with these low mass tuning pegs, it's simple. You simply put the string through the hole, make sure that it's on the saddle, and then you simply lock it up. I use this crappy ruler in order to make sure that I put the right pressure, and that is it. And then you just go and cut the string. That's it. Okay, you do the same for the rest of the strings. Now the guitar is tuned to pitch, and now we are going to check the relief, the string height, the pickup height, and the intonation. And now I understand that this can be a little bit controversial, right? What is what you need to check the neck relief in your guitars? Probably the only thing you need is the truss rod wrench, and the right truss rod wrench in this case is the one that came with the guitar, because when you have done this, a lot of times you don't need the capo, you don't need the filler gauges, and of course you don't need to spend a lot of money in those digital calipers or those digital gauges that are sold. I'm going to put a couple of pictures here, right, for hundreds of dollars, because in a guitar setup it is not about, in my opinion, this is my opinion, it's not about reproducing exactly the numbers in each guitar that you have. Is finding the setup that works for you. In my case, I know what is the neck relief that works for me, so I do it even with my fingers. I will show you how I do it later. But in the case that you don't have, say, the experience, I don't want to say the expertise, the experience of, you know, measuring the neck relief just with your bare fingers, the only thing you need is a capo, right? You are going to put the capo at the first fret, like this, and filler gauges that are $7 in any hardware store, right, in the Home Depot, honestly, right? My preference in my necks, because of the many years playing them, many years playing guitar, and I know what I like and what I look for, is around 10 thousandths of an inch. My filler gauges are in millimeters, so around 20, sorry, 0.2 millimeters, not 20 millimeters, 0.2 millimeters. Then I basically hit the fret where the neck meets the body with one of the fingers, and then I check it at the 7th and at the 9th fret, right? And it's a little bit, it has a little kind of tiny bit more of relief that I'm looking for. So what I do is I tighten the truss rod, right? Basically, I tighten the truss rod, actually, a little bit, and then I check again. Okay, put the first fret, and with my filler gauges, because you don't need the exact number. 10,000ths of an inch is a relief that makes me feel comfortable when I play, right? And there we go. Now, but you may move the string with your filler gauge. Listen, I mean, just put it on the fret and move it around, right? So now the guitar has the relief that I want, that I know I like, right? And I know that this is a good relief for this guitar because I know the guitar, because I know what is the right combination between relief and string height in order for not to having buzz, right? Fret buzz. If you do it with your fingers, just, I'm gonna give you a different angle here. So what you do is you hit the first fret, right? With your index finger, you hit the fret where the neck meets the body with, in this case, is my pinky on the right hand, and then with my thumb, I tap the string, and I see if I have space between the frets and the string when I tap it. I don't know if you can perceive it, but I have exactly the right space, what I like, what I want, which is, if I would have to say, you will see that it moves, but not that much. If you cannot tap the string, if the string lies on top of the frets, you don't have any relief at all. You need to loosen the truss rod, right? And this is just out of experience, guys. I mean, and it works for me. I mean, this is the way I do it when I don't have my filler gauges at hand. And this is the way I usually do it with my guitars, honestly. I mean, with all of them, right? That's the right relief. For me, you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars in expensive tools. If you want, more power to you. And if you have a professional shop, I can understand that you want to have the best tools to offer the best results to your customers. I can understand that. But at home, for your guitars, or as a guitar player, as I am, you know, when I check the relief in my neck, I simply do this, and then I just tighten or loosen, and then I go and record and whatever, right? This is what I do, right? And honestly speaking, you don't need to spend hundreds of dollars for checking the relief in your guitars. This is my honest opinion. And for the string height, is the same story, right? I use this fret ruler, the Fret Guru, right? Because the cheap ones, the ones that I have used to tighten here, the locking tuners, have really very sharp edges, and sometimes you can even dent the frets. And the only thing I do, well, for this I need to wear my glasses, right? Guys, I mean, and then you simply check the string height, being careful of not to push too much and then move the string, because, well, I mean, the argument is you may move the string with your ruler, then you need this digital tool. Honestly, I don't think you do. Honest to God, you don't even need the ruler, because you can do this also by feel, right? But we are gonna use the ruler. I like more or less 1/16 of an inch in all my strings, right? The idea is, the next one is finding the right balance between neck relief and string height, avoiding buzz, right? That's the point. And my playing style and my experience playing I'm a classically trained guitar player, so we are used to higher actions in classical guitars. Well, anyway, the idea is that around 1/16 of an inch is my string height, my preferred string height. If I can go a little bit lower without bass, I'll do it, okay? In this guitar you only need to check the 1st and the 6th string because it's not individually adjustable in height, right? Now, 12th fret, and we're there. Exactly. 4/64, which is 1/16, a little bit less than 4/64. And we don't have fret bass. And on the 1st string, and I think we will need to modify the 1st string height because I moved the bridge before. Yes, we are much lower. I moved, if you remember, the wheel here. So we are going to lower the tension a bit here on the first 3 strings, and we are going to give it a little bit more of a height here. Let's see now, where is where we are. We are almost there. It's choking, so a little bit more. When we were cleaning the guitar, I moved the wheel, and that's the reason why. So a little bit higher. Just eyeballing it now before I tune it. That will be tune to pitch. And now let's measure the height. We are a little bit below 4/64. Perfect. And that's it. So we have string height, we have relief, we have, for my playing and the way I like it, the right relief, the right combination between the relief and the string height. And now we are going to go back to the bench because we are going to do intonation, which is the part that I really hate, but we have to do it. It's an integral part of every setup. And for the intonation, yeah, you need a good tuner. You don't need what you are going to see, you don't need to have a Kemper, you don't need to have a strobe, no, but you need a good tuner. If you have a good tuner, you can intonate your guitar the right way. Well, now a couple of words about pickup height. The specs, let's say, the recommendation from PRS are 3 30-seconds on the bass and 5/64 on the treble. That, please take it as a ballpark. You need to basically go to those specs and then try your guitar and see if you're perceiving difference in volume between bridge and neck, when you change, etc, etc. It's something that you really need to try. As a ballpark, 5/64 on the treble and 3 30-seconds on the bass. You hit the last fret and then you measure the distance between the pole of the pickup and the string, right? 5/64 on the treble, 3 30-seconds on the bass. Take it as a ballpark and you take it from there. Now we are going to talk about the intonation. The intonation is something that is absolutely essential in every setup. You need to intonate your guitars. The guitar must sound in tune across the fretboard. If you don't intonate your guitar, it may happen that you will be fretting in the upper frets and then it will sound terrible compared to the lower frets, etc., etc. You may have also differences between strings, terrible, right? What is the idea? The idea is that perfect intonation does not exist because the way the guitar is built is physics. I'm not going to go into the details now. But if you get a very good tuner, and this is a very good tuner, this is the Kemper, it's like a strobe, the idea is that you can get close to a very, very good intonation. The way you are going to do it is you are going to play the harmonic at the 12th fret and then fretted the note at the 12th fret in each one of the strings, and you are going to compare the reading on the tuner. You will check if it is sharp or if it is flat, right? And then you will take your saddle closer to the nut if it is flat, and you will take the saddle further away from the nut if it is sharp, okay? That's the idea. So we start with the harmonic at the 12th fret first string, tune to pitch. If I speak, the string is going to vibrate, okay? See? And now I fret the note. And it's really very good, practically doesn't move. Second, you do this with all the strings. Second string. See? Third string. Very good. Fourth string. Fifth string. And sixth string. A little bit flat. This is a very sensitive tuner. Perfect. It's really very good. My guitars are always very well intonated. I keep them really very well intonated. We have not changed the string gauge, so the idea is that we are not expecting to have difference in intonations, right? So that's all. I hope you have enjoyed. See you very soon in my next video, and up to that moment, please play your guitars, have fun, and be good. Bye.